Good morning. It's Saturday, December 28th. I'm Stephanie Bertini here in the Fox 5 newsroom, and thank you for joining us live here on the Fox Local app. Former Chief of Department Jeffrey Maddrey on the defense. In his first public appearance since resigning from the NYPD, Maddrey admitted to having a sexual relationship with a subordinate, but says it was consensual. Maddrey is publicly accused of demanding sex from a lieutenant in exchange for overtime. His attorney says he didn't have the authority to approve overtime. Work continues this morning to fill a massive sinkhole on I-80 in New Jersey. The eastbound lanes are still closed, forcing drivers to take detours. Officials say an abandoned mine shaft under the road collapsed. The State Transportation Department says it's still too early to know when the lanes will reopen. Checking the forecast now. Today, mild but rainy tonight. The rain sticks around tomorrow, mild for this time of year anyway, with some showers. Now to a water rescue on Long Island. A woman sprang into action after a man fell through an icy creek. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg has this report.
Give him the rope!
Kayla Masato still doesn't know this man's last name, but she managed to save his life.
We were just hanging out, being lazy on the couch day after Christmas. We were just relaxing, watching a movie, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a jet ski in the creek, and I was like, that's odd because it's all ice. And then he stopped. You could see the trail he came from the end of the creek.
Her yard backs the Poospatuck Creek. She said all was okay until it wasn't.
Then I was like, oh my gosh, he's going down. He's going to be in the water. 2 seconds later, he was in the water.
Kayla, be careful!
Kayla, who's a saleswoman by trade, not a swimmer, grabbed her paddleboard and started to run.
He was just like, get me out, oh my God, it's sinking.
Grab that rope!
I said, I got you.
You can see the people standing on the dock, reeling them in with a rope. And from the screams in the background, you can imagine this sense of urgency.
A difference 5 minutes can make is the difference between life or death.
And what's even crazier is Kayla usually deflates the paddleboard for the winter, and this year she didn't, giving her even more of a reason to believe it was meant to be.
Right time, right place. It could have been different for sure.
Kayla's sister Brooke, who took the video, says she wasn't surprised by her big sister's quick thinking.
Kayla just saved this man's life.
It's a paddleboard and a prayer.
A prayer that was answered and a story to share.
He has a daughter, he has a sister, he has a mom, and they're all like, you saved my son's life.
As for how she feels,
people say that you're a hero, you're a superwoman, but I'm just a person, and I would do it again for anyone.
And when they meet, of course, she's going to tell him how glad she is that he's okay. In Mastic Beach, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
What a story. 13 correctional officers and a nurse at an upstate prison are under investigation after their alleged involvement in the fatal beating of an inmate. New York Attorney General Letitia James released the body cam footage of the attack. The victim, identified as 35-year-old Robert Brooks. The footage is so graphic, we're only showing stills of it here on air. The officers are seen punching and kicking Brooks, whose hands and legs were restrained by cuffs. Brooks died in the hospital the next morning. Investigators say it happened last month.
It's shocking. It shouldn't be, but it's just the manner, the way in which they did not care. They did exactly what they wanted to without a care in the world.
Those believed to be involved are on administrative leave. So far, none of the correctional employees have been charged, but one did resign. Governor Hochul says she's taking steps to have the others fired. How do you rate the year 2024? A new poll says most people are calling it an average year. But this morning, Fox 5's Meredith Goldman brings us a slightly different take.
2024 is almost over, and with the new year just days away, on your mark, get set, reflect.
2024 is almost over. What would you rate this year out of 10?
Well, I would rate it a strong 6. It's a year of learning for me. I've learned a lot, and I just look forward to a more positive 2025.
What would you rate it? I would rate it maybe like an 8 or like a 7 out of 10. It's just been a long year. I'm ready to move on.
I would give it a 10. I got married in October.
Christmas was great, no fights, so we're great. Excited for 2025, though. 10 out of 10.
It turns out most Americans rate 2024 a solid 6.1. According to new numbers crunched by Talker Research. But when you look closer, 67% of us say 2024 was a year of personal growth. One thing that most New Yorkers we spoke to can agree on, though, they're looking forward to the new year.
Every year on Earth, it's a good year. It's a good year. 2024 was great. 2025 is going to be even better.
Hey, well, with 2025 right around the corner, we'll see what this new year has in store. Reporting on the Upper East Side, I'm Meredith Gorman, Fox 5 News.
He always maintained his innocence, and now a New York judge has vacated the conviction of Jeffrey Koontz. He was convicted of an armed robbery at a club in Mount Vernon back in 1981. Koontz spent nearly 8 years in prison and was released in '92. The Westchester DA's Conviction Review Unit took a look at the case and found evidence that Mount Vernon police pressured a witness in the case to implicate Koontz. Koontz expressing joy and relief over the decision.
I'm thinking that a burden has been lifted off my shoulder for me and my kids. I'm thinking I'm so grateful to Karen Newworth, for fact findings and things of that nature and whatnot. I feel that I feel new.
Koontz is the father of Raiders defensive end Malcolm Koontz and another son who is a retired state trooper. We'll have more on this story coming up on the 6 o'clock news. The Broadway show Gypsy canceling its performance last night because of a sickness within the company. It's now the 5th show this week they've had to cancel. Gypsy stars 6-time Tony winner Audra McDonald, who posted on Instagram a few days ago saying a nasty bug is infecting the Broadway community. Ticket holders are being told to check with their point of purchase to either exchange their ticket or to get a refund. Well, move over pumpkin spice. Apparently, there's a new favorite flavor for 2025, and it's popping up in everything from coffee to baked goods. Fox 5's Jennifer Williams has the skinny on brown sugar rising to the top.
Forget the color of 2025. Brown sugar is the flavor of the new year.
I'm very obsessed with desserts, so I've actually seen it more in sweets. Like I've seen it in cookies and cakes and everything, so I love it.
According to the Food and Beverage Trends Report, brown sugar is the taste of the town for the year ahead.
The flavor is amazing. I don't know what it reminds me of, but it's like very comforting. It's very winter friendly, I would say.
One of my biggest things that I make for Thanksgiving and Christmas is candy jams. Got to have brown sugar in it all the way.
It's just universally, culturally, a really nice flavor. It has a lot of nuance depending what you do with it. You can heat it, and it's going to have a really nice aroma, and you can make it molten, and you can do lots of delicious things with it.
Lisa Coun is the owner of Park Avenue Nutrition in New York City and notes that brown sugar as a flavor profile is everywhere. Treats, coffee, even adult beverages.
If you're going to make a drink and you're going to put a little bit of a scotch or a bourbon or a whiskey, or you're going to make a homemade barbecue sauce, use a little bit of the good stuff and the real stuff and get your value from the flavor standpoint, because there's nothing like the real thing.
There's also the nostalgia factor.
Food reinvents itself, and we have a lot of memories attached to food that are generational, that are repeated throughout the generations.
More than just a trend, a little bit of brown sugar can go a long way.
Even though this is a sugar-based flavor, it does have a lot more going for it than a lot of the processed sugars, which do not have, say, the addition of molasses, which is what the difference is between brown sugar and white sugar.
And why do you think it's making a comeback?
I don't think it ever left. I don't think it ever left. I think a lot of people put it in their coffee nowadays, a lot better than I guess regular white refined sugar. So I think it's always been here. It's just it's a little more noticeable.
On the Upper East Side, Jennifer Williams, Fox 5 News.
Right. Well, a final check of the forecast. Now, it's a rainy day, but not too cold. Tomorrow, mild again with some showers. And that does it for us this morning. I'm Stephanie Bertini. Have a great day. And remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming here on the Fox Local app.